Can't no one know I've been staying over. Fucked this so long, I'm finally sober. To the edge, I've been drawing closer. Lately I'm a loner, a stoner, a loser. Yeah, I'm fucking poser, alone, life for no one. Love to act so talented, reality you've got none. I don't like to talk much, I'm honest. You just crave attention, that crowd life is dog shit. Yeah. Nothing really matters in the end when we fade away. Fade away, all that I will awake. I just wanna find a way to make you stay, to make you stay. I just wanna levitate, don't hesitate to make you wait. I just wanna fuck you till my bones and blood disintegrate. I just wanna touch you, feel your body right next to me. I just wanna love you, wanna fuck you, wanna levitate. Levitate, I'll levitate. No matter what, like this, I just don't go my way. I'll levitate, all damn night I'll stay awake. Still my I just don't go my way. I'll levitate, all damn night I'll stay awake. Still my fucking guts and everything I've got all on the page. Lost my best friend, fuck that, it's over. So many moments never found their closure. A loner, lazy fucking stoner. Lately I've been thinking this was destined to be over. Yeah, fucking pussy, so sick listening to groaning. That damn time you man up to mistakes, now time you own them. I've been feeling lonesome, alone, and so homesick. Driving home, reflecting, just you know I miss the cold, I hate the summertime. I am the king of wasting time, and I feel bad about it. Lately I don't feel blue, no longer doom and gloom. Beautiful flower, I bloom, found my way out of my tomb. Never could have guessed that the worst things I have ever faced will leave me standing tall today. My oath, my spirit intact. Never could have guessed that the first time that I saw her face, I would wake up at her place. A goddamn smile on my face, like a man doing good. Not likely that I'll ever get my shit together. Half my life I felt like I was under the weather. All my future endeavors I fought for dog. Getting fucked up in the train tracks, never wanna take those days back. I know I was young, I was living my life like a goddamn idiot. Started this shit and we finished it, at least I live my life with style. I no longer feel so I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I feel the fire, it burns. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. You know I miss the boys, they're out in Santa Cruz. Some days wish I lived on the moon, never had to meet another douchebag. Think back to when I met the boys, age 19. We were living on Chandler Street, fucking it up in the December. Never could have guessed that all the times we cheated dead, I'll be standing here with my head, my heart, my spirit somewhat intact. Really should have guessed that all the times that we got faded, that my brain might get downgraded. Thank God, I think I'm feeling alright. just got sick of the lose, so I decided to grow. Yeah, I decided to grow.
I have no idea why that keeps happening. My audio cut out right when I started the stream. But anyways, what's good, guys? Happy Friday. A lot of crazy movement happening right now. We're gonna go over that. Has the market bottomed? Or are we still just seeing another relief rally bull trap scenario? Is this a bull trap? Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I'm gonna go over the macros, and you guys can make that opinion yourself. What's up, Ahmad? Might have a good rally this time. Bears are losing power. They need to add liquidity. I disagree. Macro hasn't changed. Agris is jubilant, gloating hard. So just so you guys know, Agris had Agris is a meme in my Discord. I honestly don't stalk him or really pay attention, but sometimes when I'm in the general chat, I'll see people post his tweets. So he actually was posting bearishness, like bearish tweets saying that we were going to go much lower like 2 days ago, and then he deleted them. So, you know, I can go back in Discord and find those tweets, or you guys can do it yourself. The guy has no idea what he's doing. And he will, I'm not even kidding, he literally tweets two different things. He'll tweet like a bearish thing in the morning and then a bullish thing in the afternoon. And then he'll delete the bearish thing or he'll delete the bullish thing. Whichever one points him in the wrong direction, he will delete. It's pretty absurd. And it's in my opinion, it's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, I'm gonna go over a lot of macro stuff first. Gonna go over stock market and really, actually, I'm gonna pull up the tweet I posted this morning and really explain it in my own words. I think a lot of people are confused on where the market is and where we're going, where we're headed. And I want you guys to know that even a bear market, it's slow and painful, right? So every single relief rally, everyone's calling for a bottom. Every single time, price bounces off a support level, we've bottomed. Every single time, this isn't, someone pulls out some stupid fractal that means absolutely nothing. And, the problem with fractals, and this is something that people don't consider, is a lot of people use fractals based on, a bullish economy versus a bearish. Like they'll pull out like a bullish fractal and compare it while we're in a bear market, like economic wise. And those two things happen in two entirely different situations. But, gonna go through this now. So here we go. So first things first, if you guys didn't know, and actually I'm going to pull up the other chart here. So the 200 weekly moving average has acted as a significant area of support over the last almost 10 years. Every single time we've hit it, we've bounced. COVID, we wicked below, but we still closed above it. Still in a very bullish economy here. I know COVID was quite a market crash, but that was a black swan event. That didn't ultimately change the economy. Obviously now the economy's feeling the result of what happened in COVID, all the money printing, all of the debt that was taken on, et cetera, et cetera. But I want you guys to notice this has acted as support several different times over the last 8 or so years. And now we have closed below it. We've had volume, a lot of volume here to close below it. And I know volume's relative here. This is mostly because different exchanges are being used. So obviously our volume will taper off. The more exchanges there are in the space, the less volume we're actually going to see. A lot of people really confuse this, but relative volume. So if you can see here, we have very, very low volume here as we're distributing. And we actually close below the 200 weekly here. On that note, closed with significant volume, and now we're retesting the 200 weekly. So retesting the 200 weekly with very, very low volume. I want you guys to notice over here, we're actually bouncing off the 200 with very, very low volume, very low sell volume. Yes, we got to it with high volume, but we didn't close below it with low volume. So if it's acted as significant support over the last 6, 8 years, whatever, every time we've touched it, now it should act as significant resistance. We're going to need a much larger accumulation area. And honestly, guys, if you know anything at all about trading, anything all about like upward movement, downward movement, so bullish versus bearish, a breakout and retest. So I'll honestly, like, let me go to my chart real fast so I can draw this for you. So let's say we are, this is, I'm just going to draw like a very simple resistance line. Actually, screw that. We're just going to do this. Just going to go over here. Let's say that here's our support, here's our resistance, here's our next resistance. What you should see price do, and this is extremely bullish, is maybe we test here, come back here, do something like this, double bottom, breakout, retest. This retest resets lower time frame indicators, confirms this area as new support. So confirms that area as new support, and then continues up higher. Maybe we break out again, retest, going back up. That is perfectly normal in an uptrend. So when we were in a bull market and we kept having breakouts and retests and people kept saying that they were bullish and this and that, now we're in a bear market and we're seeing a breakdown and retest. And let's pull up the 200 weekly moving average here. So if a breakout and retest is bullish, why are people saying, like, why on earth are people saying that this is bullish? Not only are we breakdown and retest, we're retesting with low volume. Okay, just like I explained in a bullish scenario. So let's even draw this here. We'll even draw. So here was a significant area of resistance here. We break out, retest. The retest is extremely low volume, lower volume relative. Continuing up. Yes, we didn't get another retest. I understand that. We went parabolic. But just an example. Okay, so all of these people that you're following on Twitter, all of these analysts that are insanely bullish right now, telling you that this is the bottom's in, look at this one moving average. Okay, this has been a significant moving average throughout all of Bitcoin's history, something that people considered the bottom for crypto. Okay, we've closed below it with the most volume we've seen in a very long time, I believe about a year. So why on earth are people saying that this is bullish, that we've bottomed? We have definitely not bottomed. Now, if we get above this 200 and retest it and continue, then yes, I will begin to start changing my bias. But for now, there is no way in hell you can convince me that a breakdown and retest is bullish when, if you follow any sort of basic level TA, this is the first thing you learn. Okay? Pencil Neck. Who is Pencil Neck? What band is my intro music? It's actually my friend, a personal friend of mine, an old childhood friend. He has a band, or not a band. He makes solo music himself, and he's releasing all the music that I like. He basically lets me use the unreleased music that he's made, and once he releases it, he'll put it on Spotify. His Spotify link is down in the description below. I believe he goes by Tilley Parker now. Yo, what up? Yo, Woho, did you watch the ALGS at all? The TSI is not showing any bottom. Yeah, that's a good point. I also saw, and I'm going to pull up my Discord real quick, pull up the Patreon chat. I saw that some credible analyst has said that commodities have topped. Okay, I'm just going to point this out very, very easy for you guys. They said commodities topped, stock market's going up. Okay, I want you guys to notice a couple things here real fast. Here's commodities topping in 2007. Here's commodities topping in 2022. Okay, so as commodities continue to drop, market dropped. Market dropped significantly. Here's your market dropping. Obviously, this is the 5-year Treasury inflation rate spread. But here we go. If commodities begin to drop, I very well expect the same thing to happen to stocks. Where will we go? Probably COVID lows. Probably. Because I believe anything from COVID lows moving higher, honestly, was, the Fed printing money, debt, people taking loans. So it's like, yes, it's real money, but it's not backed by anything. It's people taking out debt to buy stocks. Am I shorting 22K? No, I have not opened a short yet. Why does crypto pump in the weekend always? Usually the weekend is low volume and it's used as correction. FTX and Binance are playing games with retail at the moment. So FTX and Binance, we'll get to that in a minute, but I'm just going to keep continuing with my original thought here. So again, moving forward, we know that Bitcoin has lost the 200 weekly. Let's move into the SPX. So the S&P 500 has been a very significant indicator for Bitcoin over the last couple months. I want you guys to notice something here. We are very well in a downtrend, and I'm actually going to pull up my chart so I can draw for you. So we're in a downtrend. We have not tested the 200 weekly, and I believe we're getting close to the 50. Let me pull these up. I believe we're getting close to the 50. Or no, we're under the 50, my bad. The 50 monthly we're actually getting close to, which is around the 200 weekly. So anyways, we haven't tested this area, and honestly, I'd imagine that this lines up with here, and we get a nice relief rally. Okay, maybe not that high, but we get a nice relief rally to go lower. But guys, this does not signify a bottom at all. There are people and again, you have your macro analysis or analysts that really don't know anything and are calling for bottoms because they pull out a 30-minute chart and they go, look how much green this is. This is bullish. Guys, if you're going to analyze macro, you need to use the weekly. You need to pay attention to the 200 weekly moving average. You need to pay attention to volume. Anything other than that, I'd throw out, honestly. You don't really need RSI or MACD. However, divergences matter, but again, screw it. We'll pull out RSI for now. So why did we bounce? We're oversold. We're simply oversold. We're getting cool off. And honestly, I think we're going to head lower again. There's literally no reason that this won't head lower. And beyond that, I believe in 2008, where did we bottom in 2008? So we went all the way to 12 points. We're not even close. And I'm not saying that this is the exact same thing as 2008, but if you pull out the monthly RSI in 2008, you have 15 points. In 2000, I believe we went all the way down to 22 points. Guys, we're at 43 points. We're not even close. The 70s here, we went all the way down to 14. So really, the monthly still has a long way to go. The weekly still has plenty of room to go down. Again, more points that this is not the bottom in the slightest. Okay, a bottoming structure doesn't have your moving averages curling down like this. Honestly, just correction to meet these moving averages so we can continue lower. And this whole idea of a melt up or V-shaped recovery, guys, that's never going to happen. Again, throw those people out the window completely. Do I have any open trades? No, I don't. We can't have high inflation and high growth like in emerging markets, and if not, why? Can't we have high inflation and high growth like emerging markets? I don't believe so. I think inflation's really caught up with us over the last couple of months, and honestly, I don't see how we can sustain this anymore. People are running out of money. Once they run out of money, businesses are going to suffer. People have been spending money like crazy. No one's been saving anything. People are going out to eat all the time. They're spending everything. And, at some point, the cost of living now, which is 50% higher than it was last year, is going to catch up with everybody. Wages aren't going up. Wages aren't going anywhere with the cost of living. So, again, another sign that the bottom's not in. Let's keep moving on. DXY. Let's talk about the DXY. So again, people are going to say, we've bottomed. I want you to look at this DXY and tell me where on earth you see bearishness. Okay, we'll even zoom out a little bit more. Where on earth do you see bearishness here? Okay, where are your macro sentiments that this is bearish? The DXY is in full parabolic mode in between major resistance and major support. We've actually gotten above a historical resistance level at 105. Here you can see, I'm not going to stretch this all the way back, but this goes all the way back to the 80s for 105. And even so, we'll move this line just a tad bit over. DXY is mooning, and people are bullish. It's kind of crazy. And I know there have been instances where Bitcoin has gone up and so has the dollar. But in this case, hell no. Like, this doesn't look like any sort of topping structure. This is entirely bullish. Everything about this is bullish. What do I consider to be high volume? You have to look at relative volume and see if it's higher than all the relative candles. Yeah, no signs of exhaustion on the DXY at all. Roman, I like your necklace. Oh, thank you. I thought I'd wear my gold necklace since everybody thinks I'm poor. Yeah, like, geez, pretty funny. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's look at USDT. USDT.D. I'm not going to draw on this chart. Actually, you know what? We're going to draw on it. We're going to draw on it because we need to. This is something we need to cover. Again, where on earth do you see bearishness on this chart? Okay, and I've said this a million times. USDT.D going up is bearish for Bitcoin. Okay, so this going up makes Bitcoin go down. Again, where on earth do you see bearishness? The USDT.D is in price discovery. We are in, parabolic advance almost. And honestly, we're going sideways. Again, going sideways to continue going up. Yes, we could go sideways and go down. That's always a possibility. But again, all this is, and we'll even draw maybe some support lines here. We are literally, again, you can see volume tapering off here. We can literally see that this is a breakout, a retest, a double bottom now, and will most likely continue up next week. Okay, we haven't even met with our diagonal line here. And let me just move this just a tad so it lines up. Actually, we have met with our diagonal. Look at this. Look at the confluence here. Again, another sign that crypto has not bottomed at all. It's amazing. It really is amazing to me that people will call a bottom on every single little pump. And let's pull out the Bitcoin chart. Guys, every single time, this was the bottom. No, this was the bottom. No, this was the bottom. Bottom's here. Nope, bottom's here. Bottom's here. Bottom's here. Nope, the bottom's here. All of these things I've circled, there have been massive amounts of tweets. The bottom's in. The bottom's in. The bottom's in this. The bottom's in that. Even up here, bottom's in. 100K, 70K next. Guys, stop. Ignore these people. Okay, anyone calling the bottom is in this type of macro environment without posting the macro thesis that I just gave you is out of their mind. Okay? Yes, I will say that when recession is absolutely at its worst, that's when we've bottomed. Okay? The markets are ahead of the economy. The markets are ahead of what's to come. So it will definitely bottom. I guess it will technically bottom right before it's the absolute worst, and we're not even close yet. There are still people going out and watching movies, drinking in restaurants, doing stupid shit, taking out debt, buying houses. There are literally people buying houses at the top of the housing market. Like, are you kidding me? No one is in fear. Everyone's kind of worried. People are worried, like, oh, maybe, my stocks are down, my crypto's down. I'm cost of goods are up. No one is panicking and fearful right now. No one's selling stocks so they can buy groceries. No one is selling their personal items so they can pay mortgage. The overpriced mortgage that they signed up for. It's unbelievable. How often do I stream? I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's always around the same time. Always. If you're in my Discord, you'll get a notification every single time I stream. Right, let's do some deep dive into Bitcoin. I know people are really interested in this. Why do I think this is a bull trap? So a couple things, guys. One, just going to talk some net flow data. And this stems back to my Twitter post just to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. So in a bullish environment, this doesn't happen. Okay, this distribution tactic doesn't happen. There's been over, I believe, 50,000 Bitcoin just in the last few days. I said 40. I believe it's a little bit more than 40. It's 50 just over the last few days on this pump. Little did you know, during this entire move up, there has been thousands of Bitcoin sold. Okay, so while a lot of people are sitting there, sitting there going, oh my God, 100K, 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 we're going to keep doing this. Institutions are dumping Bitcoin on you, dumping Bitcoin, dumping more Bitcoin, dumping Bitcoin, dumping Bitcoin. Okay. Also, Celsius just sent 24,000 Bitcoin to FTX. 24,000. Okay. This entire pump was due to FTX. Okay. I'm not trying to make a statement because it could not be true. There's a chance that it's not. But let's use our heads here. Why on earth would FTX be the only leader to pump this after receiving 24,000 Bitcoin? Think about it. You have a low volume pump, entirely low volume. I understand this is here. This is because the wash trading that was happening on Binance today. Don't believe this is on any other chart. It's not. Ignore this candle. Yeah, and by the way, the Binance thing that happened today, wash trading. That was all wash trading. So basically, whales were doing this with price because they didn't have to pay, in a very, very tight range. So they didn't have to pay fees, and they made millions of dollars today. Probably tens of millions of dollars today. Because that dumbass CZ gave them all no fees. There were no fees today. We'll throw it today on Twitter. Maybe you can do it more often. I can, but you have to remember the macro environment doesn't change every day. And this is why I'm remaining bearish. A big reason why I do not believe that we're going to go over 23K. It's very possible. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm an absolute, god at analysis. If we literally flip over the 200 weekly, which is right around here, retested as support, I will definitely long this retest. Don't get me wrong. But I'm also not a day trader. I could give a shit less that we had a 10% pump yesterday. I don't care. I can make two solid 30 to 40% trades a year and be set for the next 3 to 4 years. That's like, I don't live outside my means. I have a stockpile of extra cash if I ever need it. I have an interest earning account that's 8% with Abra that literally pays everything I do every year. Everything I do is very conservative, very thought out. But regardless, I'm not a day trader. If you're day trading this market, you're wasting your time. There's too much scammy shit. I mean, we talked about this last live stream. What the hell is this? Right? This was entirely led by FTX. Entirely led by FTX. Entirely led by FTX. Okay, FTX was spamming Bitcoin buy orders in the hundreds of thousands to millions, multiple small orders. And I know $1 million isn't a small order, but for a whale, that's a small order. And eventually just kept pumping the price up. That's how they do it, and it's used as distribution. We've seen it happen several different times, and this should come with no surprise at this point. Just subscribed. I appreciate it. Thank you. Won't you think that big money going to take profit at 107? I don't know what you're talking about, Russell. I think that's how you say your name. How high do I predict Bitcoin? I went over that in the first like 15 minutes of the live stream. You're more than welcome to go back and watch it. Didn't FTX basically buy that Celsius Bitcoin that belongs to Celsius customers? It's not FTX's to sell. What? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I don't know anything about that. I just know that they've received now it's over 30,000 because I saw another 6,000 Bitcoin to FTX. But anyways, and you can pull out this net flow data chart. It's literally every other exchange was selling, and FTX just bought a shit ton. Like other exchanges were tactically selling low amounts, and to not crash the market, because that's how that works. And FTX literally just said nope, and just bought, like, spammed buy orders. And honestly, yes, there is a possibility that maybe this is a double bottom, but I've never seen a double bottom off a rip like this on the way down. Usually you'll have down, a little bit of sideways, and then you'd long this double bottom. You wouldn't end up longing this, you'd long the third bottom. We didn't even get a third test, and I'm not a fractal person. I'm really not, but compare this to this, or even this. We broke above our resistance levels really multiple times. And they were all bull traps. They were all with low volume. And again, ignore this giant volume candle. That shouldn't be there. But look at this. On the way up, we have extremely low volume relative to the other candles. That's not bullish. That's just Bitcoin in a range doing this. Same with over here. We tried to break out of resistance with, again, relative low volume compared to what's happened in the past. All this is consolidation to reset indicators to dump. Consolidation for dump. Consolidation most likely for another leg down. Could I be wrong? Of course. That's up to interpretation. But until that changes, guys, this is not bullish at all. It's not. So these analysts that are feeding, posting bottoms in, getting your emotions stirred up, all this other bullshit for engagement, just ignore them. Okay, I'm not an engagement grabber. I have your best interests in mind, and I'm posting my opinion backed by any sort of technical facts I can provide. Okay, if someone is going to give you a weekly chart like this, like specifically Tech Dev is an awful candidate of this, and he'll draw one diagonal line like this, okay, and he'll be like, bull market's in. Like, what? Like, what, dude? And then he'll, like, circle and be like, oh, COVID shouldn't have happened. Something like that. Like, that's literally what he does. And it just gets people's emotions riled up. They FOMO into shit. They make stupid decisions. All because, and it's not entirely Tech Dev's fault that people are investing, their own money and taking losses. But he is an influencer. And honestly, I don't believe he has people's best interest in mind, because he literally posts the most basic, stupid charts. That guy TA analyst, he does the same thing, but he did this. He took this chart and he literally did this, right? He just did this. He goes like this, and then he was like, bull market's back on, with like a bunch of rainbows and like dicks everywhere. Like, he literally did this. He literally just like did something like this. TA analyst, that Aurelian, whatever his name is, literally did this, just put dicks everywhere all over his chart and said, bull market's in. Bull market's in, guys. This is the fractal Bitcoin chart. I mean, it wasn't quite this, but this is what it looked like to me. His chart looked like shit. Okay, and he's been an engagement go-getter. He started his account in February. It's absolute bullshit. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I like, how can you live your life scamming people and not even care? It blows my mind. It really does. I'm glad you guys got a laugh out of that one. Yeah, seriously, like, look at this. Let me pull up his analysis. It's unbelievable. Let's find him. Oh, it's a real. Here he is. Yeah, look at this. Like, what the hell is this? It's got dicks and balls everywhere, and bear, bull, bear, bull. What? If it was this easy, if it was really this easy, everyone would be rich. And no one. It's never that easy. Ever. Do you honestly, and let me know, do you honestly believe this? He has his max target going to 3.6 mil within the next 10 years. Which, could be possible. I'm not going to say that it's not, but are you out of your mind? What the hell is this? You know what this is? A bunch of circles, a bunch of cylinders that don't have any measurement at all, don't take in any macroeconomic factors, don't do anything but give you a bunch of bullshit. And look, he's trying to make a snowman with all this. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Yeah, it looks like a bubble. It does. Lines don't predict the future. They don't. They don't at all. So, yeah, I can go on all day and rant. I really can, but guys, I'm not gonna do that. We'll do that next live stream. I'm gonna try and stay on as long as I can. I'm literally waiting for my girl to get here, and we're going to my parents' house. My brothers are in town, and my grandparents are in town, so we're gonna go party hard tonight. I can't repeat that, but yes. He forgot the carrot. He did. He forgot the buttons too. That's a stupid drawing. Yes, of course. But all right, I'm gonna pull up Coinbase for today just because that volume is entirely misleading. So, what is this? Yes, very possible could be a double bottom, but what is this volume? Also, we know that FTX led this entire move up. I don't like this red candle right here, personally, and I also don't like how the 200 weekly is our rejection point with extremely low volume. Right? Like, let's look at relative volume over the last 20 weeks. Volume has been, every significant move we've had. Every single significant move we've had. Come on, chart. So every single significant move we've had, lots of volume. Even some of these, lots of volume. Even these, lots of volume. So let's put our baseline for volume. Maybe, our average. What's our average for volume? It's probably like right about here. Okay, yes, there are 2 days left in the week. But Saturday and Sunday, we know that there's hardly any volume. I don't think this is going to change very much. Could we get 23K? Sure, we could definitely wick above. We could see maybe, something like this over here where this was entirely a fake out. We broke down through the 50, came back up and retested it, got slightly above it, and then dumped. Okay? So, yes, we could live under the assumption that maybe we see something like that again. It's very possible. But there's just no way you can convince me that we're going to lose the 200 weekly and then regain it 2 weeks later with low volume. Is it possible? Sure. Am I going to put my faith in that? No. I'm not gambling. I know how this works. We literally crashed from COVID with the most volume Coinbase has ever seen, and we didn't lose the 200 weekly moving average. Again, crashed here in 2018, and the 200 weekly held for several weeks on end, like 20 weeks on end. Why on earth would we lose it here and regain it immediately? And this is on every single chart. The 200, we've lost the 200 on every single exchange. This isn't just Coinbase, it's every single exchange. Looks like sideways crab until maybe a major dump to new lows. Most likely. I mean, I will probably begin my DCA the next leg down, just because my DCA is going to be over 2 to 3 years, right? So if I can start buying on the next wave down, so let's say we go all the way down to 12 or 13K, whether we go up from there or maybe continue lower and then up from there, I'm trying to absorb this, right? I'm trying to absorb the majority of that. That way, when we do our sideways accumulation range, which usually takes about 6 months, I can get about 25 to 50% of the amount that I want to DCA, which I am hoping is above 100 to 150K, hopefully. But then again, I need sofa for my basement down here since everyone keeps calling me poor, so I might have to cut into the DCA funds to do that. Why not short with stop loss above the 200 weekly moving average? Someone in my Discord did that. I believe Stizzy did that. So if you guys are in my trading class, I was asleep and away when we touched the 200. I was Like, it happened last night at like midnight. We literally did it in 3 minutes. Like, guys, here's the 200 weekly, which is literally right here. We literally did this, and I'm going to pull up a 5 minute. Actually, I'm going to pull up a 1 minute. Okay? We literally shot up to it in 2 minutes. Okay? Like, what do you want me to, or sorry, 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, we shot up to the 200. Tested it. Okay? Like, as much as I wanted to be able to buy there, or not buy, to sell there, to short there, like, I was asleep, right? Like, I was either asleep or I was doing something else. Like, you can't, what? I just, sometimes you don't get the entry. And honestly, I don't like trading without a pattern, without a direction. Because honestly, think about it this way. Let's say we just continue going up like this, right? Like, you never want to short a parabolic move to the upside, just like you don't want to long a knife, right? Like, if you catch the falling knife and it continues dropping, you're screwed. Just like if you long a parabolic advance, or sorry, if you short a parabolic advance, you might get screwed. Just my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want, but I've caught a falling knife once and I lost $4,000 in like 30 seconds. And it was not fun. At the time, that hurt my portfolio. Not quite a bit, but it definitely wasn't good. Flies, man. Got flies in my basement because I'm too poor to afford what is that, bug spray? I can buy a $2,000 gold chain, but I can't afford bug spray. The life of a crypto trader. I'm just here to flex. Just kidding. Oh my god, it landed on my shoulder. I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah, bitch. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's talk Bitcoin dominance real quick. So, Bitcoin dominance pretty much confirmed a double bottom here. Something that I had actually drawn on my chart here and yet again here. So what does this mean? Every time we've seen a double bottom, dominance is pumped. Dominance pumping is entirely bearish for crypto. Okay, why is this bearish? Because when the entire crypto market is going up, so when it's pumping, alts pump the hardest, which means Bitcoin dominance goes down. That's why when we're in a bull market, so here's your bull market, dominance goes down because altcoins are pumping harder than Bitcoin. When we are in a bear market, which, excuse my drawings here, holy shit. When we're in a bear market, which was 2018 to 2019, when you're talking bear market, dominance goes up. And I know it's not, time specific, but 18 to really 19 bear market. Then we have distribution. So distribution of Bitcoin dominance, which means that we're starting to enter the new bull run. Double top here, which means that the bull run has started or starting. There you go. Or alts, I guess not necessarily bull run, but alt season, or altcoins are going to start popping off. There you go. So what does this mean that a double bottom has confirmed on Bitcoin dominance? Well, you can kiss any pump goodbye. Any pump. This is entirely bearish for crypto. Entirely. Okay, I don't want to see, Bitcoin dominance is bullish, so Bitcoin's going to pump, but alts aren't. That's just not how this works. And in my 6 years of being in crypto, yes, there's been a couple of occasions where Bitcoin dominance has gone up with Bitcoin pumping, but we are in an area of bear market, and as we can clearly see to the most obvious eye, is every time this is pumped, Bitcoin has dumped. And let me even see if I can put a Bitcoin chart up here. Let me see. I know it's compare. Gotta find it. Actually, let's just do this. Just because I don't want to mess with it, because I think it's just going to mess up. Let's do this, right? So here we go. Here's Bitcoin from 69,000. Okay, I want you guys to look at this. Here's 69,000. Dominance dumps. Yes, we still had some alts popping off here. Okay, now we're in our range. Bitcoin dominance starts pumping. Honestly, alts were getting slaughtered here. Bitcoin dominance continues to go up here. Man, this is hard to compare, but it starts going up from this double bottom here. Starts going up, up all the way to the peak, which was here. Why did we kind of top out here? Well, altcoins were sitting on support. Altcoins were kind of doing their thing. Bitcoin dominance RSI was also really, really high. So it made sense that altcoins would hold support there. And now we're seeing a double bottom confirm here. While, yes, you could say that maybe this is a double bottom here, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. Not with this kind of volume. Not at all. Not at all. But yes, another signifier that Bitcoin is most likely going to continue to that. Bitcoin dominance is dumping. Sorry, I mean, you'll hear it in a second, but Bitcoin dominance was dumping because altcoins were holding support. They were, like most altcoins, were oversold massively, like down 90% or so. So, I mean, they needed to chill. They needed to ultimately have an area of correction. What if new FUD about Tether will push the Bitcoin price? I don't really care for FUD about Tether because I don't think Tether's going anywhere. Where do I think this rally stops? Go look at my last tweet. This double bottom looks like the previous one. Yeah, the previous one where, like, right here, maybe? Maybe. I mean, it's possible, but I freaking doubt it. Like, I really doubt it. Sorry, that wasn't Bitcoin. That was Ethereum. Maybe this one? This thing right here? We haven't really had a double bottom at all, so I don't really know. Not too sure what you're referring to. Is that gold chain real? No, it's fake real gold. It's really fake, really real gold. Yes, it's real. Why the hell would I wear a fake gold chain? You out of your mind? The Cuban link 14K gold chain. Use the plus button on the ticket. Let me see if I can do it. Plus on the. Oh, here we go. Ooh, see, I don't like that. I don't like how it does that. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that. I don't like how it does. We're gonna remove that. I'll figure it out one of these days. I haven't played with it that much. But all right, let's look at some lower time frames. Then I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta get out of here soon. All right, let's look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour, what are we looking at? Most likely either distribution or consolidation. I'd put money on consolidation. We could see a bit higher. Ultimately, I have a bear flag drawn like this or a possible breakout drawn like this here. But ultimately, I'm leaning more towards the bear flag considering how low volume is, considering the weekly is oversold and just needs correction to go lower. We saw the exact same pattern here up at right here at, well, what is this? 48K? So right here at 48K. Saw the same exact bear flag. Now, I'm not a big fractal trader, but it's very possible this is just sideways movement for another way down. Let's look at the 1 hour. 1 hour, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty obvious. This looks like a very possible bull flag, so we'll probably see something like this. Probably another bounce, probably another wave higher. Either get the double top and go down, or we could even continue sideways, hit 23K, and then go lower from there. I mean, honestly, I don't see how we're going to break back above the 200 weekly after 2 weeks of being below it. I just doubt that. That's a cheap one? Like what? No. You sell your Bitcoin and wait for a bottom? I bought all my Bitcoin between 3 and 6K and sold it all at 52K. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I literally, my DCA account, I had bought in here, I had bought in here, and I had bought in here, and I sold it. Now I know you're gonna be like, oh, Roman bought all three bottoms. Like, no, I was DCAing. Like my average is 6K, so I was DCAing all throughout this. I had larger buys at 3 and 6K. Honestly, I didn't think COVID was going to happen, but whatever. But I was able to buy more at 3K. But then I sold like right. I think I sold like right here. I saw volume tapering off here, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of sketchy. And then we dumped, and I was like, oh my god, I just sold the top. Ended up getting more of a distribution pattern. Lost some money in here trying to trade it, but that's okay. Ultimately, like 20x'd my money. Pretty happy with that. So, and those of you that are worried that even if we have bottomed, guys, if you're dollar cost averaging, you would be in with like 1.5 to 3% right now. So stop freaking out. Okay, if you're a savvy, smart, risk-averse investor, you'd be dollar cost averaging, and you'd be in with 1.5% of your portfolio. So if you have, I know a lot of my haters, they have $100 portfolios, so they'd be in with $1.50. And if we went to 100K right now, tomorrow, we went to 100K, they'd have $5. $5 to maybe $7.50. Okay, so let's all stop freaking out. I've told you guys many different times, bottoms have accumulation areas. Again, if I pull up the bit stamp chart, bottoms have accumulation area of around 6 to 12 months. Let's just relax and wait and see what happens. CPI next week plus GDP at the end of the month. The GDP looks like shit. Pumps are exit liquidity. Absolutely, my friend. But for those of you that don't know, I have a free Discord. You're more than welcome to join. The link is in the description and in the chat, the live chat. I also teach a trading class. The details are up on Patreon. Please read them before you ask me questions about it, because I made it as detailed as I could, and like 99% of the questions I get are easily answered in those descriptions. For all of you that don't know, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays around 5 to 6 p.m. If you're in my Discord, you'll see those messages. With all that said, guys, I am going to party this weekend. We have our family 4th of July party. My family's in town. I've got a couple best friends coming into town for we throw like a huge 4th of July party. It's sick. We buy a couple $1,000s worth of fireworks. We cater food. There's usually 200 people at the house. Like, it's wild. My family has land, so we're able to host 200 people. People end up getting drunk and like sleeping outside. It's like a Project X party, but not as the cops don't get called and shit. So I'll probably be away-ish, maybe tuning in-ish. But for the most part, I don't really plan to trade this weekend. I'm just going to have fun and enjoy my weekend. Nothing looks like sentiment's changing, so for me, there's no reason to trade this. So yeah, with all that said, please be patient, use risk management, and good luck trading.